This is Chasing Sueños, presented by Toyota Corolla. Because behind every success, there's unexpected turns. There's rejection. There's blood, sweat, and tears. But that's not stopping us chasing our dreams.
My name is AJ Ramos y bienvenidos and welcome to Chasing Sueños, brought to you by Toyota Corolla.
Dímelo, 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 dímelo. Welcome to Chasing Sueños, brought to you by Toyota Corolla, where music fans get an unfiltered look as to how their favorite artist goes about from side hustle to the process to living their wildest dream while repping la cultura in between. My name is AJ Ramos y hoy tengo el honor, I got the privilege and honor to be with my brother from another mother, singer, writer, artist, Latin Grammy winner, Billboard winner, Grammy nominated, over 15 ASCAP awards, an amazing father, an amazing husband, a true story of from the bottom to where we are now. Maffio, what an honor, what a privilege. You are dripping on this set. You look amazing. How are you feeling today, man?
Thank you, my brother. Thank
Come
you,
on
man.
now. Look at this drip, ladies and gents.
I'm gonna take you on the road with that introduction. It was epic.
From the heart. From the heart. It's been over almost 2 decades of hustle and bustle. You living out the dream. You are a product of the American dream, my bro. I'm just giving you the flowers that you deserve.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
How are you feeling? 2025. What's the word of this year? What's the intention for this year?
Feeling a little bit better than wonderful.
Come on. I'm feeling a little bit better than wonderful.
You got to write that down.
I'm feeling a little bit better than wonderful. 2024 was an amazing year for you. You've had an incredible career. For those that don't know, Maffio is part of literally shifting culture when it comes to sounds that become relevant in different eras, which we'll tap into, to some amazing songs that you will know by. But I want to get to the roots, man, where it all started, Maffio. So when did you know that you wanted to be a musician, an artist?
I think all my life.
Okay.
Like,
how old is all my life?
Is like 6 years old.
Okay.
I was already.
At 6, you already knew?
Yeah. I knew like this is what I want to do, for the rest of my life. That's why I didn't do good in school.
You just focused on the music.
Yeah.
You were 6 years old and you already started learning how to play the piano. How did that come about? Who inspired you? Who planted that seed in your life?
Well, I used to see the shows on TV and everything, how they would play and stuff. So my dad, he used to live in New York. I was living in Las Cañitas in Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So he sent me a little Casio piano. It was like this big, and I started playing with one finger because so I would get tired, of playing with one finger. So months after, I would play with 2 fingers, and then, until I got, my 2 hands playing with the 2 hands. I never went to a music school. My mom tried one time to put me on a music school, but it was so boring. Okay. Because they would go like, A, do, re, mi, and I just wanted to play.
That's it, right?
So I started on a Monday and I ended on a Friday. I'm like, Mom, I can't do that. I just want to play.
And then you just started learning on your own, kind of like trial and error at 6 years old.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about that is when you know how to play piano and you know how to read and everything, you already know what you're going to play. But there's a magical beauty when you explore and you do a chord progression and you're like, what? The feeling is incredible. So I want to keep it like that.
Did you, as kids, right? As a kid, I wanted to, at one point, I guess, be a police officer or a professional baseball player. At 6 years old, you wanted to be an artist. But where did that seed get planted for you? Was there someone in your life that said, hey, showed you about music, or was it just...
Nah, it was just
in your heart and your spirit?
Yeah, I just picked it up. Once they sent me, the seed was the little piano,
That's it? That your dad sent you?
Yeah, so that was the seed. It was like, I fell in love.
What was the first song that you ever composed?
in my life,
Yeah.
wrote, I was 9 years old.
9 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
Break it down to me. Where were you? What were you doing? Did you have your Superman underwears on? Like, dímelo todo.
It was Spider-Man.
So, okay. I'm not some Spider-Man. He's the man.
I just started writing, like it was like a love song for our girl from school.
Tú estabas en chuletía ya a los 9
Yeah, a los
años.
9 años. Oh my God.
You were
Siempre
crushing?
enamorado. It was I was like in love with this girl at school. The lyrics are so embarrassing.
Do you remember them?
I remember one line. And I always had it, in a piece of paper, but I never showed it to her because I was so scared.
Do you want to express yourself now, or should we leave
Oh
that?
no.
We can leave that there.
No, 9 years old.
So at 6, you started playing the piano. At 12, you understood the assignment that your dream was to make music.
Correct.
Now, at that age, what did you think making it was? What did it look like, and how does it compare to now, literally living your dream and making a living out of music, but also having impact? How was that dream different from when you were 12 to now?
You always see the videos. At that point, I was 12. I was already in New York, and you would watch BET, and MTV, and you see, the houses, big houses, and
Of course.
and all the flashy stuff, and then I thought that was like, you made it. Now, it got to a point that's not when you made it. When you make it, it's like when you can provide with your family, for your family. You have your kids, your wife, whatever, and keep on grinding, keep on inspiring. I think that's when you really make it, and you don't need to flash a bunch of chains and stuff like that, so people can be like, "Oh, he made it." I'm not like that.
I think
Other people like that, I respect it, but I'm not like that.
It's so funny you say that, right? So the name of this podcast and the conversation we're having is Chasing Sueños. And I always feel that, our change tend to change, right? Our dreams tend to change. And it's funny that you say that, because I'm pretty sure that you do have all those accolades that you dreamed of, right?
Yeah.
You do have the home, right? You have
Yeah.
your house, you have your maquinón. But in reality now, what makes you happy is that inner peace, or it's just crazy how God or the universe can really just switch those dreams up, and seeing you on your social media, living that life, being a great father, being a great husband, and also an amazing producer. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna dive into his catalog soon, but seeing Maffio in person is just something. It's something special, man. Lately, Rosalia dropped a merengue electronico, is what I want to call it. Last year, Karol G dropped another one this year. And for those that don't know, Maffio originated that sound over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel that you have your genre specialties, but how much has El Barrio de la República Dominicana that you're from, also knowing that you lived in New York, how much has that influenced the way you create and make music?
Oh, absolutely. It influenced me because that's how I grew up, listening to all these kind of genres. Like my dad would listen to 70s salsa and stuff, My mom would listen to Ana Gabriel, and bachata here, merengue there, and all those things. I put them in a pot and created my own sauce. So, and it's funny that you say that, that about el merengue electrónico. I've always said that is never going to die. It's just a cycle, and right now, like, a lot of people are doing it.
I mean, right now, one of Karol G's hottest songs is the one that she just dropped, Rosalia, as well. And it seems like this tropical music is having another moment right now, which is beautiful. Which was the most important song that you created? Which is the song that changed your life?
The song that changed my life was Mi Alma Se Muere by Fuego, Pitbull, and Omega. That was in 2008. 2007, 2008. And that song, this is the story. I don't know if we have time to
The
say this
the lineup, Pitbull, when Pitbull was at his peak prime.
Yeah.
Omega, which was the hottest and hardest artist out.
Yeah. And Fuego, which was the new
face of the genre and the movement.
Yeah. So Boy Wonder, he didn't want to work with me at first because I had 2 jobs, and I was making my beats at home, where you went.
And I remember in Queens.
Yeah, in Queens. And I would sell my beats like, for $50, to the local artists or whatever. And that's how, that was like my little side hustle. And then Orquídea La Negra from LDA, remember her?
Wow.
We had a friend in common, so she heard my beats and she loved them. So she told Boy Wonder, hey, you gotta work with this kid and this and that, Obama. And Boy Wonder was like, nah, he doesn't have a name. He's a local.
Crazy.
And she like convinced him, like kept telling him until he calls me, Boy Wonder, chosen few.
Of course.
Hey, what's up, Maffio? I'm like, who's this? Oh, Boy Wonder. I'm like, what? Boy Wonder calling me. And he was like, I just signed a new artist named Fuego. He needs a new single. Can you deliver? And I'm like, yeah, I can deliver. And then the funniest thing is that I gave him an agreement of like, 1 sheet agreement. You have to pay me $150 up front and $150, when I'm done with the record. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? You're brand new. I'm like, well, that's how I'm gonna do it. And mind you, if he would have never signed it, I would have never done it, and I needed the money.
Wow.
And that song was Mi Alma Se Muere.
Look at that.
And that song, it was such a big hit that I would walk in the train or whatever, and go into my dad's house, the cars passing by, blasting the song. And I'm like trying to look around, like, like that was
what was that feeling like when you're hearing your song all over radio, all over the place, and everyone is rocking to it?
It was an incredible feeling. Like, it was like, wow, I made it. And that ASCAP, they pay you like after 1 year. After 1 year, So I'm like, man, I haven't gotten 1 check from that song yet. And I'm like, man, but it feels good. I'm here. People are starting to calling me. And
Get your name out there.
Yeah. And then, like, after a year, I got
that check came through, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Change things around, right?
Oh, my gosh.
What did Maffio get in his first check? Then I want to go back to a couple of more things.
Oh, no. After that, I came to Miami. And I came here homeless.
Wow.
With no house. The checks haven't come yet because they have to accumulate. So I got here homeless. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a house. I didn't know anybody.
So why did you leave New York?
I needed a change.
Okay.
Like, I don't like the cold.
The change was worth being homeless at that point?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well, over here, I went ham. I went ham here. And I was working 24/7 in a studio, and everybody would say like, damn, this kid, he's always working. But BS, I didn't have a place to sleep. So I would sleep in the studio. And then that check came in. And that's when everything changed. And what I did first, got a little apartment, Didn't have a car yet. It was too much.
Of course. Baby steps, one thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. And then everything just started like, all the doors opening, I was getting offered a lot of money from labels and stuff. And now, like, I was at $5,000 a beat. I
mean, it's wild, right? Like, first of all, Boy Wonder at that moment in that time, you know, he's done a lot for the genre and for the culture. Fuego was hot. He had just dropped The Chosen Few. So the fact that, you know, he's calling you, you know that he has the upper hand, but you still said no. Like, this is my contract, which I think it's you standing up for yourself. But how beautiful is it that Orquídea, correcto?
Orquídea.
From LDA kind of co-signed you. And I think sometimes people forget that part.
I still talk with her to this day.
Wow. But people still like, I feel we live in a generation sometimes that lo quieren ahora, bro. They want it now. And you just kept working and working and working until people spoke of you in rooms that you were not in, connected that moment, got on one of the biggest records of that year, perhaps even the biggest record of that year, changed the game around, changed artists' careers around, came to Miami, and lived in the studio.
Yeah.
What would be that advice that you give someone that wants to make it in the music industry?
If a door closes, kick that door.
I've seen you
and believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and give yourself value. Be respectful and have a word. I think there's an umbrella that I call, you know, respect, you know?
Okay.
And under that umbrella, there's so many things that is empathy, love, passion, you know, all those things, ethics, you know? And if you have all of those, and if your talent is good, then there's no reason for you not to make it. And what have stayed, how I've stayed for 17 years in business.
Relevant.
Making
hits, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yeah, it's because of, you know, I do good business. When I shake hand, I don't talk about anybody. You never see me on a controversy. You know, I respect everybody. Obviously, I have to look out for myself. You know,
of course, business. Humilde sí.
Pero no. Business.
I want to go back a little bit more. I remember the first time that I think I met you. We were at A-List Radio. We were at an internet radio station. While doing that, you were doing many side hustles, right? Assistant mechanic, a janitor, warehouse stock person, even in between that transition of you getting your first record cut. What did that teach you? That juggling around, and because sometimes I feel that I tell artists this all the time. I'm like, yo, bro, people want to see who you truly are.
Yep.
The movie is cool, but if you have a 9 to 5 and your 9 to 5 is building your, like, share about it, right? But for you, what did that teach you, man? Like, juggling 1,000 jobs, faking it till you're making it, taking a break from work, going to an interview, not knowing if the interview's gonna pop off or not, right?
Yeah.
But just
and I want to thank you for that.
Time flies, man.
I think it's like that moment where we were talking about what success is.
Yeah.
You know, you want to fake it till you make it. And that's the wrong attitude, you know?
Okay. What's the right attitude?
The right attitude is not, don't just be real, you know?
That.
And then, you know, then you'll make it.
What's one of the biggest hurdles that you faced as an artist and producer on the come up? Especially trying to get your songs heard, you know what I mean?
The industry saying, like, you know, like labels, A&Rs saying, like, he's not gonna get a hit record anymore.
Oof.
You know, and it happened several times. That was luck. That was luck.
You've been lucky for many times.
Man, 17 years being lucky.
Who was that first artist that gave you that first opportunity? Was it Fuego or?
Well,
or that first shot for you that really helped you open the doors?
It was that song, because, you know, remember, Fuego, he was starting his career too. So we made our career together, you know, and then Boy Wonder obviously puts out the song, and then the song blows up. So I think that was it.
Was there moments in the beginning of your career where you felt you weren't going to make it? And how did you overcome those emotions and feelings?
You know what's funny?
Or did you always know?
It's not like it was do or die. Like, you know, it was it. Like, you know, I was gonna die doing that. I never.
There was no plan B?
There was never a plan B. That was the only plan. That was the only plan. And obviously it was hard because I needed to work other jobs and stuff and try to, you know, but little by little, everything, you know, if you put your mind to it, if you put your heart to it, you know, everything is going to work. You just follow step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on and so on.
Mi alma se muere, que buena tú estás, super estrella, chillax,
Oh.
bajito, pam pam pam, Cristina.
Yo las pongo con los Tucanes de Tijuana y de Oro.
Eres mi sueño, Fonseca.
Eres mi sueño.
You've worked with artists like Fonseca, Daddy Yankee, Justin Quiles. You've inspired artists like Carol, Rosalia to drop some records, like the ones that they just did. For you, which song is the most special and why?
There's a song that I have that it's on Tumba Gobierno.
Okay.
It's called Celebration.
Which is your first album
Yeah.
that you dropped as an artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the song is with Farruko, Akon, and Kimani Marley.
Farruko, Akon, y Kimani Marley.
Yeah. So I produced the song for Farruko and Akon. And one day, Farruko calls me and he's like, "Hey, Maff, I think I have a feeling that this has to be your song." And I'm like, "No, I produced that song for you. Like, what do you mean?" He was like, "You're gonna thank me later." So I started listening to the song more and more, trying to understand if it was like a hidden message. And there was, and I felt like, because my sister passed away in 2004.
Sorry to hear that.
And I had so many years, like, just, you know, thinking about her, sometimes getting depressed, because she was my best friend. It was my only sister from my mom's side, and she was like my best friend. And that song, I started listening to the lyrics, and it was like her talking to me.
Wow.
So, dry your eyes from me, no shed no tears. Well, dry your eyes. And I did the video, and I dedicated it to her. So, if you see at the end with my mom, and then you could get to see my sister. I have a picture in memory of my sister. So, and that song, not only that, why is it special, but also that song, it was a reggae, Maffio doing a reggae, and I would get people on DM telling me, "Hey, Maffio, this is, you know, I'm in the hospital with my dad, and this is the song that makes him smile, and he has cancer, you know," and that's like the biggest, like, because they asked me, you know, what's my biggest, most successful, and to me, that's the most successful thing, when you could actually touch people with your music and those situations.
What do you want people to feel, or what do you want them to know about Maffio when you're behind the song or making a song as an artist? I know that Tumba Gobierno was made during COVID. This was your first project as well as an artist, correct?
Yeah.
But in general, what do you want people to feel?
It's just, you know, it's flavor. You know, it's flavor is good music, not mediocre music. I'm having fun in the studio making it, and then putting it out to the world for people to have the same feeling that I had in the studio. That's priceless.
I think that, you know, some things that perhaps some people don't see about an artist, or especially a producer and a songwriter, is the importance of working behind the scenes, the importance of planting a seed building relationships, and I feel it's something that you've done very good at, right? You let your music speak for itself, but the artists that you've worked with and the relationships that you've built throughout these 17 years are key. What would you say is the most important thing or an advice that you can give somebody as to nurturing and building relationships?
Yeah, don't burn your bridges. That's all. And whoever's coming up, don't underestimate them. You know, because I was underestimated.
You were the underdog.
Yeah, and now I've seen a lot of people that don't even have jobs now that were talking that, you know, saying those things, and you know. Because when you're coming down, and the people are coming up, you know.
It's about relationships. Sometimes people get blinded with their blessings and they forget to be human. And they forget that at one point they were that person, right?
Yep.
Rehab Studio. Talk to me a little bit about Rehab Studio and what's happening there.
I have a studio now here in Doral. That's where I go. I'm going to build a new studio. Maybe in 4 years, I'll be full-time in Dominican Republic.
Okay. What part of DR?
Samaná.
Samaná?
Yeah.
Qué rico, yo.
Yeah, and I'm have a development. I'm constructing a development there, 7 buildings.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna build a studio there.
Just make sure there's like an apartment there for me or something. I can just go chill.
Absolutely.
How do you go? You know, Maffio, you've done many songs, many records, all that in between. How do you go about starting new business, working with an artist, and breaking bread with someone? Like, how do you discern that, or what excites you, or what do you look into?
It's a hit or miss.
Okay.
Like if you want to sign a new artist, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, se pega el artista, the artist does good, and then he'll forget.
They get amnesia, se le va la memoria.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I do, you know, produce for new artists, you know, but, you know, I'm not trying to sign anybody.
Who and when has been your best studio experience?
Oh my God, that's a great question.
Because if like, and I'm pretty sure you put videos up, but seeing you in the studio, I've been like, you know, once again, I've been in studios with a lot of producers and artists, but seeing you in the studio, like you're literally like you make a song from scratch, and you're just performing, like you're literally performing in the studio, and then you're like, how did you come up with this? So I could only imagine like what's the magical moment for you and with who.
You know what? Every artist has a different personality. You have to catch that energy. You know, there's some artists that are more mellow. You know, there's some artists that are crazy in the studio.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Every artist has a different personality, and you just have to adjust to that personality. Sometimes they even follow you. Like, you know, what do you know?
Which one has been the most magical or memorable?
Oh my God!
Disclaimer: nobody get offended if you're listening to this podcast. Maffio loves you all.
But
there has to be one.
Giancarlo's
Canela.
Yes.
Was it for Bajito?
Yeah.
That's
oh my God,
off.
we had so much fun that day. Well, we were there until like 9 a.m. We started like around 7, you know, at night, and then we left the next day at 9 a.m.
Wow.
We jumped in the pool.
You had fun?
Oh my goodness.
When did you finally realize that you've made it? When was that moment? And what caused you to be like, yo, I made it?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know, like, you know when I felt like I made it when my first daughter was born.
Come on.
Yeah, no, for real.
Let's go. For those that don't know, you can go on Maffio's social media, and he's always portraying super dad. You're very intentional with your kids, even when it comes to work. Tell me a little bit more about that feeling of making it, and also fatherhood while being in your bag.
You just make time and priority for everything. You know, I love my kids, and you know, it's something that you know, they raised me. Everything was divided. Like, you know, my mom would live in DR, my dad with his other family in New York, and that's like the ultimate goal, to have a family. I think that's the biggest. That's when you make it.
That's amazing, man.
That's when you make it.
I hope and pray that one day I'll be a father. What advice would you give me in fatherhood?
Be patient.
Yeah.
Lots of communication.
What has your children taught you?
What they've taught me?
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, I grew up like, you know, a chancletazo.
Oh, que sí que.
Super chancletazo.
Los hombres no lloran.
No, and then if you cry, you're like, stop crying, but you just hit me. You're like
and then another chancletazo.
What? On top of that. So, you know, my kids, I talk to them like an adult.
Okay.
So let's say, and with love, lots of love, smother them with love. Like, for example, Marley, if she doesn't clean her room or something, or she forgot, all I have to say to her is like, Marley, really? And then she'll start crying. Oh, I'm sorry, I just forgot. And I'm like, you need a hug? And then you hug them.
Wow.
And then you whisper, please don't do it again. Okay. And that's it. It's simple.
Love.
Never. I got teary-eyed now.
Love is beautiful.
And that's, you know, you just talk to them. You know, we never in the house, we raised our voices. You know, we just love, smother, and they listen. They listen. My Marley, she's a straight A in school, and she wakes up in the morning. She's 11. She wakes up, gets showers, does her own breakfast.
Okay.
You know, gets ready. By the time she's ready for school at 7, she's already ready.
I think you have to start teaching master classes on parenting over here.
I should.
Next, brought to you by Maffio. When it comes to music, what fuels your creativity now? Once again, I feel like, and check out the discography, right, on all social media platforms and DSPs, but you've been at the forefront of many different genre shifts, right? From el merengue electronico and the merengue, right? Putting pop artists like Fonseca on a merengue record, like Eres Mi Sueño, that was a hit, to the moment in the season where the reggae mashups and the chillaxes was coming out, which I think was an inspiration to a Con Calma, right? El Dembow Caro, like Christina, which is a dembow that went super viral in Spain and started in Spain and also opened up doors in Chile.
Yeah.
It was a different type of dembow.
Yeah, it was more Afro, like como mezclado con ese. It was a mix of certain things, because it was not dembow.
No, of course, that's what I'm saying.
So,
it was a cocktail, but you felt the dembow, you felt la jerga. But what I'm trying to get at is what fuels your creativity now, and what's the next sound, what's the next vibe, what's Maffio working on when it comes to creativity?
Oh, it's crazy that 2 years ago I did 2 salsas. No one was into salsa. And now Bad Bunny comes out with a salsa. I'm not saying that I'd inspire him.
I did a salsa too.
But there's this rhythm that I'm working on very much. Reparto.
Reparto.
Yeah.
What's reparto?
Reparto is a fusion of a Cuban movement.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I'm doing it. And I think that's gonna be. I'm doing it my own way, and I think that's gonna be the next thing.
Nice, as you always have. Talk to me a little bit about Better Than Wonderful Foundation. Where did it start? What's the objective?
The Better Than Wonderful Foundation is in Dominican Republic, in the hood that I was born,
What's the name of the hood?
Las Cañitas.
Las Cañitas.
And the main mission is to provide uniforms, programs for the kids when they get out of school.
Okay.
Because the thing is that, once you get out of school, you have nothing to do. And guess what you're going to start thinking about? Drugs, rob, and I just want to keep them busy, and I have, my old friends, they're the ones that are running it there, and I'm always there.
And what does the foundation provide for the kids?
Uniforms. I make sure that the balls, basketballs, volleyballs,
Resources and
resources, and make sure that all the courts are nice, clean, and painted. So yeah, and I also want to build a school in Dominican Republic. It's
a media arts musical type of school, or
art school. So the kids can go for free. So I've been talking with the government now. I'm looking for el terreno, for the land.
Nice.
And they're gonna help me. And once I get the land, then we're gonna start building.
What did 2024 teach you?
Not to stress. You just go with the flow. Because there was moments that, that my patients were, or I was stressed out about something. And then when I was found with the blood pressure, with the high blood pressure, the doctor said, you know what's gonna kill you? Stress.
What do you think that the root of that stress? Because I feel this is super important to talk about, because todo el mundo ve la película, todo el mundo ve the plaques, the awards, the collaborations, you performing on New Year's Eve on our parents' favorite TV channel nationwide. But where did the stress root from? What triggered that?
It's just so many things. People that don't have respect, that don't respect you. People that think that you're just, and then in trying to explain it or trying to show or teach those people, it was just stressful.
Do you feel like there came a moment where you literally said, I want to give this up because of the stress, or
Nah, never.
always
No, yeah.
ready to rock?
Yep.
What does Maffio do to relieve stress nowadays?
Well, my kids. When I'm with my kids, I'm in cloud nine.
That's
I
amazing.
put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I've been using Do Not Disturb a lot
I'm
more.
on Do Not Disturb 24/7.
Yeah.
You got to call me twice to get through. That's the hack.
Yeah, so I
Don't
love
judge
it.
me.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
How do you, I feel like I was talking about, we had Ella Taubert on the show, and I was talking about dopamines with her off the side of the set. And how do you level set from, once again, you have your work hat on, which is studio vibes, working. How do you level set from professional to personal? Is there a routine?
It's having a good partner, because the mom of the kids, understands my job.
Okay.
And if I have to stay 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 8 o'clock, she would understand. And having a good partner, good co-parenting, it helps a lot, but it's two different worlds,
Completely.
It's two different worlds. Sometimes they're smoking and you can't have the kids there,
Of course.
But when it's a menudo session, I take
You take the kids
I
with
take
you?
the kids.
What's something that you learned from your partner? What has she taught you?
She's taught me a lot of love, because before I was blocked,
Heart was closed.
yeah. But she's from Minnesota, so it's Minnesota nice.
Okay. Started softening your heart
Yep. Yeah, she did.
and transform you to be super dad. Seen so much change in your life too, from like just that peace that you have now. And I think at the end of the day, man, inner peace is the new millionaire, Maffio. I want to thank you for being here.
No,
I
thank
think,
you.
You know, it's beautiful to see the people behind the scenes to the soundtrack of people's lives, but also chasing that dream, product of an immigrant, blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
Fake it till you make it. Homeless in Miami. Consistency, right? Creating community and confidence. But last question I have for you, man. What dreams are we chasing in 2025?
What dreams are we chasing? I want to build that school.
Okay.
Like, I really want to build that school for the kids. And I just want to keep on helping, just contributing in the world.
Bueno, mi gente, todo lo bueno tiene su final. We're here chasing Sueños, brought to you by Toyota Corolla. What an honor and privilege it is to be here with Maffio, hitmaker, great father, great husband, and literally product of an immigrant and American dream. Keep chasing your sueños. Brought to you by Toyota Corolla.